From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. First at 5, a Milwaukee man is charged with 3 counts of homicide after the deaths of a woman and her 2 young children earlier this month.
Our Charlotte DeLeste joins us now with details that came out today in the criminal complaint. Charlotte?
Well, these are disturbing details, Susan and Eric. Just hours after Amara Banks had attended the funeral of her 21-month-old son, she started arguing with the boy's father, Arzell Ivory. The criminal complaint says Ivory pushed Banks's head into a wall twice, then strangled her. Ivory then told investigators he didn't want her 2 young girls to grow up without their mother. He says he told them he loved them, says their mother wanted the children with her, and strangled both as they fought to stop him. He tried multiple ways of disposing the bodies before setting them on fire in an apartment building garage where he once lived. Ivory then left for Memphis, where his father lives. His father then called authorities when his son told him what had happened. The criminal complaint says Ivory said he, quote, brought his kids into this world and he can take them out if he wanted.
Charlotte, thank you. And police say 2 people found dead in a Kaukauna duplex are young children. Authorities identified the 2 as 3-year-old Danielle Byer and 5-year-old William Byer. Officers were called to that home yesterday morning and found the 2 bodies with what they described as suspicious injuries. Police Chief Jamie Graff says someone at that home called 911. Officials have not said how the children died or provided any details about the circumstances here, but they say the public is not in any danger.
The man accused of killing 2 women in Rock County was in court today. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office tells us that Marcus Randall waived extradition today during his court hearing in Chicago. The office says it is unclear when Randall will be brought back to Wisconsin. He is accused of killing Brittany McAdory and Ciara Winchester in Janesville last week. Randall is a former Wisconsin football player.
Columbia County Sheriff's Office searching for an escaped inmate convicted of using a hammer to kill a puppy. Officials say 32-year-old Brandon Shear of Portage did not return to jail from work this morning. Shear is serving a sentence until January of 2021 on several charges, including mistreatment of animals, disorderly conduct, battery, and strangulation. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call the Columbia County Sheriff's Office.
A silver alert continues for a 77-year-old Dodge County man who was last seen Saturday evening. 77-year-old John Bachhuber was last seen around 6:30 at the Mayville Piggly Wiggly. He's described as 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing 130 pounds. He has blue eyes and gray hair. Officials say he is missing some of his lower teeth and he may be wearing prescription eyeglasses. Officials say Bachhuber does not have a vehicle. Anyone with information about his location is asked to call the Mayville Police Department.
All right, a sunny and seasonable day across the area, but cooler temperatures are moving in. Let's check your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti.
In fact, it'll be downright cold. We'll be looking at temperatures in the single digits above and below 0 over the next couple of nights. As we take a look at visible cloud track, after yesterday's snow, you can see the fresh blanket of snow over much of the central Midwest. That will keep temperatures on the cold side. Doppler track right now shows some lake effect snows downwind from Lake Superior and a few flurries out across southwestern Minnesota. That's just with a batch of clouds that'll stay to our south and west. But temperatures will fall pretty rapidly over the next 12 hours. We'll be down into the single digits by tomorrow morning, and wind chills by morning could be down to around 10 below 0 or so. Tomorrow, look for a sunny but cold day. The high temperature only at 18. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes a weekend warm-up and maybe another storm system in the middle of next week.
Okay, Gary, and the city of Madison has declared a snow emergency. That means the alternate side parking rules are in effect tonight. That snow emergency will last till 7 a.m. on Thursday. So anyone who parks on the street has to follow those alternate side parking rules or risk their cars being ticketed and towed. Streets Division crews say that wet, dense snow is made for slower plowing than previous storms this winter.
President Trump announced he is granting clemency and pardons to several people, including 2 controversial political figures. The president said he will commute the sentence of former Illinois Democratic Governor Rod Blagojevich, who has been serving a 14-year sentence inside a Colorado federal prison on charges of bribery and extortion. Federal prosecutors say he tried to sell a U.S. Senate seat that Barack Obama vacated when he won the 2008 presidential election.
Be able to go back home with his family after serving 8 years in jail. That was a tremendously powerful, ridiculous sentence, in my opinion.
Current Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, issued a statement criticizing the move, saying the president abused his pardon power in inexplicable ways to reward his friends and condone corruption. President Trump also pardoned former New York City Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik, who pled guilty to charges of tax fraud and lying to investigators in 2010.
The Democratic presidential race is about to get a bit of a shakeup. Former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg is not on the ballot in Nevada, but he will be in Las Vegas Wednesday night for the next Democratic debate. Bloomberg qualified thanks to a new national poll which has him running second behind Bernie Sanders. Candidates are criticizing Bloomberg for the amount of money he's spent on campaign ads.
Today is primary election day in Wisconsin. The only statewide race on the ballot is for Supreme Court. Current Justice Daniel Kelly is looking to keep his seat on the court. One of the candidates looking to take Kelly's spot on the court is Dane County Circuit Judge Jill Karofsky, and constitutional law professor Ed Falone is the third candidate running for the Supreme Court seat. Local officials say they're stepping up security. Dane County worked with Homeland Security to make voting more airtight. They test every voting machine twice before Election Day, with a different person testing each time. Afterwards, they will audit the results. Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald says he publishes every ballot image to the web so that you can click through it and match it up with the election night results. They've also changed the servers they use and have updated encryption codes for the website. McDonald says they're doing this to prevent any interference with elections, whether the threat is real or not.
We're trying to prevent anything that could be, done by a foreign actor, but also I think it's important for the viewers to realize that there's also just going to be in tons of conspiracy theories out there, whether anything happened or not. And so just to know that we assume failure at every point and we check for it.
As for voter turnout, the Madison City Clerk says about 27% of registered voters are expected to vote today. And just a reminder, the polls are open until 8 p.m. For some voters in our area, it was the first time using a new electronic poll book before casting their ballot.
Now, this system is being introduced in dozens of communities this year. It's a way to cut down on the registration process. Danica Lewis joins us with more on what are known as the Badger books. Danica.
Well, Eric and Susan, the Wisconsin Elections Commission says that with the help of these Badger books, it takes just 10 seconds or so to check a voter in and about 90 seconds to register someone. They're replacing paper poll books in more than 50 municipalities across Wisconsin this year, including Verona. The city clerk there says there have been issues with long lines in the past because of the time spent lining up based on your last name and then flipping through physical books. She says it was actually helpful to test out the technology during a slower day at the polls.
It's given our election inspectors time to learn the ins and outs of the Badger books, particularly with registration, because there are more steps involved than with just checking a voter in.
More steps, but it still happens quicker, according to the state. They're equipped with a barcode scanner for for IDs, I should say, so personal information is automatically loaded up, and a worker can tell if someone's at the wrong polling place or if they need another form of identification. It's what will happen on the back end that's really beneficial with these systems, according to the Elections Commission. The Badger books are able to cut down processing time from a few days to just a few hours, and we're told voters in Verona had nothing but positive reactions to that new system.
Okay, Danica, thank you. The leader of the Forest County Potawatomi community is urging Wisconsin policymakers to work together to fight the scourge of opioid abuse that he said was hitting the state's native populations hard. Forest County Potawatomi Chair Ned Daniels Jr. used the annual State of the Tribe speech on Tuesday to call for a sharp focus on opioid abuse. He says the epidemic has affected, well, he and his wife as they are now helping raise some of their grandchildren.
Opioids are tearing apart our communities. One by one, they are killing our people. They are leaving our families devastated and our young ones without parents. It should not be like this way. We need to continue to work to stop this devastation.
Daniel says he is thankful for lawmakers who are working on fighting addiction through the HOPE agenda bills. He also says Wisconsin tribes are working to develop a youth wellness and treatment center where they can receive treatment for addiction.
Right now, lawmakers are debating a package of bills that aim to improve water quality in the state.
Amy Reed joins us now to explain what they would do. Amy?
This package on water quality is 13 bills deep, and most have bipartisan support. And the Assembly is debating them now. They take on a few issues. One bill would require the DNR and Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection to collect and store or dispose of PFAS foam. There are a few that set aside money for debt cap to hire people to oversee certain programs. One expands the well compensation grant program, which Democrats talked about this morning as an important piece of the package.
Because there are people in Wisconsin, we're talking tens of thousands of people in Wisconsin, who do not have access to the well compensation grant program, who need it to fix their contaminated well, who need that program to get clean water.
We need to remember that this is just the beginning. The challenges with water quality did not start overnight. They started decades ago. So this is going to take some time, and these bills are just the beginning.
That last representative, Mr. Todd Novak, represents Dodgeville. He and Representative Travis Tranel, who covers Cuba City, were a big part of these bills. They said they brought an idea to the speaker to look into water quality after a study showed 30% of wells in southwest Wisconsin had contamination issues. But both Republicans and Democrats are counting this as a win today. Democrats because they said without the governor declaring last year the year of clean water, we wouldn't be here. Now, if these bills pass, they still need approval from the Senate, and then the governor will get his chance to sign off on them, which Novak said he is optimistic will happen.
Amy Reed live at the state capitol. Amy, thank you.
UW Athletic Director Barry Alvarez is set to receive the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award. The winningest football coach in Badger football history. He coached 3 Big Ten championship teams and won 3 Rose Bowls. He is the only Big Ten coach to win the Rose Bowl in consecutive seasons. Alvarez is in his 17th year as athletic director. On June 5th, Brett Favre and Jordy Nelson will be inducted into the 70th anniversary class on the same day that Alvarez will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, the Badgers bringing back the classic uniforms tonight against Purdue. The men's basketball team announcing on Twitter today the team will be wearing those throwback uniforms that they wore in the win over Ohio State on February 9th. Originally, the players wore those uniforms to celebrate the 2000 Final Four team. Badgers take on Purdue. Tip-off 6 o'clock tonight at Kohl Center. And, of course, we'll have highlights of the game tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, an update on Ryan Newman's condition after that horrific crash last night at the Daytona 500.
And then coming up tonight at 6, the Madison School District is served with a lawsuit challenging its transgender policy. We'll have that story tonight at 6.
On Wall Street, the market's back open after President's Day. The Dow lost 166 points, while the NASDAQ added 1.5 points. The S&P 500 lost 10. And we'll be right back.
President's Day means more savings at the Brothers Maine President's Day Super Sale. Get in right now for the sale of the season with more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We've got a lot more satisfaction for you at Maine, like up to 18-month 0% financing and free delivery to make life a little easier. Hey, there's more home satisfaction at the Moore store. The President's Day Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction today at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Save big money on those must-have items for your garage at Menards. Keep your home, garage, and cars clean with this 10-gallon shop vac. It has a powerful 5-horsepower motor and can handle tough messes, wet or dry. On sale for only $69.99. Valvoline Premium Conventional Motor Oil protects against all types of deposits to help keep engines clean. Right now, a quart is just $2.99. Find amazing deals right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
So my son says to me, Mom, did you switch your Medicare plan yet? And I say, yes, Robert. Dad and I signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan through Senior Preferred. And he says, Senior Preferred? And I say, yes, Senior Preferred. They give us access to the doctors we want and the drug benefits we need. And he says, that's nice. So how is Dad doing? And I say, your father is fine. My living room, on the other hand.
Senior Preferred. Medicare Advantage plans built for you.
Pills. You crush them. Kind of. Kale. You eat it for breakfast. Sometimes. You go far to eliminate stubborn fat. But sometimes life gets in the way. Cool Sculpting takes you further. A non-surgical treatment that targets, freezes, and eliminates treated fat cells. For good. Discuss Cool Sculpting with your doctor. Some common side effects include temporary numbness, discomfort, and swelling. Don't imagine results. See them. Cool sculpting. Take yourself further.
The new iPhone 11 runs on Straight Talk without a contract and a plan that's up to half the cost of big carriers. With the new ultra-wide camera, your shareable moments are ultra-shareable. Because you're on a network that's more than just big talk. The new iPhone 11. Now get the unlimited plan for just $45 a month on America's best 4G LTE networks. Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less.
Tonight at 6, the Madison School District is served with a lawsuit challenging its transgender policy. Plus, it is primary election day in Wisconsin. We have team coverage from the biggest races and new voting technology being used all around the state.
Wisconsin voters deserve the truth. I'm News 3 Now's Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Well, some good news. One of the best-known NASCAR drivers is now alert after that horrific crash in the final lap last night of the Daytona 500.
Roush Fenway Racing says that Ryan Newman is awake and speaking with family and doctors one day after the crash. Newman's car slammed into the wall at nearly 200 miles per hour, flipped, got T-boned by another car, flipped several more times, and skidded to a halt in flames. Seconds after the crash, Denny Hamlin won his third Daytona title in a photo finish. He is the first driver since 1995 to win in consecutive years. After the race, he said there was only one thing on his team's mind.
Since health is bigger than any race or any accomplishment that you can possibly have. So we're praying for Ryan right now, and that's kind of all we're thinking about.
There has not been a fatality in NASCAR's Elite Cup Series since Dale Earnhardt died in a crash on the final lap of the 2001 Daytona 500.
2 groups of American evacuees from Wuhan, China have now been released from military bases where they had been under quarantine for signs of coronavirus. The Americans had been quarantined at a Marine Corps air station in San Diego. Another group reunited with loved ones at Sacramento International Airport after finishing up their quarantine at Travis Air Force Base up in Northern California. Hundreds of other Americans who were evacuated from the infected Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan started their quarantine back in the U.S. yesterday. Japanese health officials say there have been more than 500 infections on that ship.
The Boy Scouts of America, one of the country's most prominent institutions, is filing for federal bankruptcy. The bankruptcy filing is to prepare for a potential avalanche of sex abuse judgments. Scores of lawyers are seeking settlements on behalf of several thousand men who say they were molested as scouts by scoutmasters or other leaders decades ago. Ralph Moore says he and his older brother Harvey endured abuse by John Brown, prompting both boys to drink.
I ended up dropping out of high school. I ended up going down a spiral in a dark place for 25 years. My brother didn't make it. He died at a relatively young age. From alcoholism because of the abuse.
In an email, the Boy Scouts acknowledged systematic failures in protecting their members from abuse while pointing out prevention measures have dramatically reduced those cases in recent years.
Let's get a look now at your first warned weather. Sunny today, but some cold weather's coming. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Sure is, and that's after the snow that we had yesterday that piled up a lot more than we expected. Here are some of the snowfall totals. These are mainly in the western parts of our viewing area. Darlington, almost 6.5 inches. Friendship up in Adams County, a little over 4 inches. Some of the lesser amounts were farther out to the east. You can see Richland Center, 3.3 inches. Lancaster at 2.8, and Prairie du Chien, just a little over 2 inches. Over the eastern part of our area, here at the station, 6.1 inches at the station, 5.7 inches in Monticello and Greene County. Officially, the Dane County Regional Airport, 5.2 inches. 5 inches in Columbus, a little over 4 in Marquesan, and the National Weather Service office in Sullivan right on the Jefferson-Waukesha County line, picked up 2.7 inches of snow. So there's still a pretty healthy snow cover over much of the state of Wisconsin, except for the far southeastern part of the state. But notice you don't have to go too far to the south to see where there's very little or no snow cover. So this time of year, we can warm up pretty quickly if we can get winds out of the south off of that area where there is no snow cover. Even though we have snow on the ground, those temperatures can warm up quickly. Not going to happen, though, in the next couple of days. Alert days are in the forecast for tomorrow and for Thursday. Tomorrow morning's low down to about 4 above zero, with wind chills down to 10 below zero, high at 18. Thursday, we start out even colder. Temperatures below zero with wind chills down to minus 15. High temperature also in the upper teens. Over the last 24 hours, you can see those temperatures pretty steady for the most part. Wind chills haven't been too bad, but over the next 24 hours, those temperatures will drop below zero, and so will the wind chills. Could be down to 10 to 15 below zero, especially by early on Thursday morning. So 3 things you need to know. It'll be very cold over the next couple of days, but we'll turn milder this weekend with temperatures back to around 40 for the weekend. And then we watch a storm system in the Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday time period of next week. That's at a time where the atmosphere could start making a flip-flop between temperatures that'll be above normal all the way through the early part of next week to below normal at the end of the week. And when you see those quick temperature swings, that's when you can see a storm system spin up. You can see out in the Pacific Ocean, again, it's starting to become more active with a couple of storms already lining up. A bit of a break here, so that's what's going to keep our weather very quiet over the next few days. Temperatures will be cold for the next couple of days, but then as the jet stream bulges back to the north, that will allow some of that milder Pacific air to start moving back in our direction. So things, while they're cold now, already the jet stream flattening out, so it won't be too long before the milder air gets us. Take a look at some of the computer model forecasts for the middle of next week. This is from Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. One computer model showing a swath of about 12 to 18 inches of snow just to our north and west. The other computer model has the snow farther to the south with lesser amounts, maybe somewhere in the 3 to 6 inch range. So a big disparity in the computer models, but it's a time period that we do need to watch because, again, that's where we're going to be seeing that temperature switch, and that's when a storm could spin up pretty rapidly. 18 for the high tomorrow after the very cold night tonight. High temperatures will stay in the teens not only for tomorrow but for Thursday as well. Notice the skies clearing out for tonight on Future Track. We're down into the single digits. Highs tomorrow, upper teens. Tomorrow night, even colder. Low temperatures dropping to below zero. Wind chills perhaps as cold as 15 below zero. And then high temperatures back into the upper teens on Thursday. But a quick warm-up after that. Back to 30 on Friday and around 40 for the weekend. A slight chance for a shower Sunday afternoon, ending as a few flurries on Monday. And then Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll watch that time period. Rain and snow Tuesday, changing to snow Tuesday night and Wednesday when it'll become windy and colder, and then colder weather for the end of next week. As we check out first alert or first warn traffic right now, that's the view of the Beltline at Broadway. That's actually right after, well, there was an accident there, now another one being reported. We're seeing delays right now in the eastbound Beltline from around Monona Drive all the way back to west of Verona Road. So pretty slow traffic in the eastbound direction. Right now, travel about a half hour in that direction from University Avenue to the interstate. Going back in the westbound direction, about a 21-minute commute. As far as heading out of Madison, 24 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline southward. A quick 16 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 from Middleton. And from downtown to Sun Prairie, it's 16 minutes on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now for sworn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now in 5, how a group of daredevils are making history in the sky. We'll explain after a short break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, Susan. Honey.
Yeah?
I respect that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this Robitussin honey.
The real honey you love, plus the powerful cough relief you need.
Mind if I root through your trash?
Robitussin honey, because it's never just a cough.
The world awaits in your new Jeep from Don Miller. It's the President's Day event on now. The tradition carries on with the new Jeep Wrangler. Get your own Don Miller deal plus rebates and incentives up to $5,500 off select remaining 2019 Jeep Wranglers. No day is the same in your new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. You'll get up to $2,000 bonus cash plus your own Don Miller deal on select 2020 Jeep Gladiators. The President's Day event on now at Don Miller, Madison and Dane Counties Jeep Headquarters, Odana Road, Madison.
Don Miller.
Don't miss your chance to see the 6-time Grammy Award-winning Irish band The Chieftains on their Goodbye Tour. Celebrate 57 years of music making in an unforgettable evening of music, song, and dance. The Chieftains, The Irish Goodbye, March 3rd. Tickets at overture.org.
Join Gary Canalti and News 3 Now viewers on a New England and St. Lawrence Seaway cruise, July 9th through the 19th. Free travel shows meet February 18th at the Wisconsin Dells Ramada by Wyndham. February 19th, we'll meet at the Madison Crown Plaza Hotel. We'll also meet February 20th at the Janesville Pontiac Convention Center and the Mound City Bank Motor Branch in Platteville. You can also go to holidayvacations.com keyword WISC to view the online travel show and earn a $100 coupon.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Back again at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison with another big winner.
We're here with Pete, who just won $50,000 on progressive slots. How did you do it, Pete?
Well, first off, you get your rewards club card. You put that in the slots, the slot of your choice, of course. Now there I am. I'm seeing that machine. It's looking at me. We're vibing, and
it's vibing.
It's
okay.
vibing with me, and then I start pressing buttons. Mash those buttons, as many buttons as you can press.
Buttons. There you have it, folks. Advice from a winner.
Well, I guess it's all about the buttons. Who knew?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Welcome back. The Daredevil group, known as Jetman, has made a milestone flight, soaring to high altitudes after taking off from a standing position for the first time.
Riley Carlson is in London with more on the pilot being called a real-life Iron Man.
It's daybreak in Dubai as Vince Raffet and his team prepare for their latest groundbreaking flight. Strapped to carbon fiber wings powered by 4 mini jet engines, the French pilot is aiming to be the first to take off from the ground straight up into the air. Starting from a hover over the water, he turns and blasts off, climbing high above Dubai's iconic coastline to nearly 6,000 feet, reaching speeds of 150 miles an hour. After about 3 minutes and a few scenic loops, Raffet pulls his parachute, successfully coasting down to his excited team below.
It's a big step for us because it's the first time that we are completely autonomous, you know, where we take off from the ground.
Raffet made more than 50 test flights learning to control the jet engines. The historic launch was one of the highlights of Dubai's 2020 Expo.
It was a very proud moment for us.
The Jetman team has been pushing the limits for 7 years now, with staggering flights like this one last year in China's Tianmen Mountain National Park. In the past, pilots always took off by leaping from a moving helicopter or an elevated platform. They say this daring performance brings them even closer to human flight. Riley Carlson, CBS News, London.
Susan, there's a way for you to get to work.
Amazing.
All right, and final check, your first warn forecast when we return. Stay with us.
He's thinking recliner, you're thinking sofa. It's okay. Everyone wins at the President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture. 25% off unadvertised items and sale items marked down even more. Hurry, the President's Sale ends soon at Slumberland Furniture.
Pills. You crush them. Kind of. Kale. You eat it for breakfast. Sometimes. You go far to eliminate stubborn fat. But sometimes life gets in the way. Cool Sculpting takes you further. A non-surgical treatment that targets, freezes, and eliminates treated fat cells. For good. Discuss Cool Sculpting with your doctor. Some common side effects include temporary numbness, discomfort, and swelling. Don't imagine results. See them. Cool Sculpting. Take yourself further.
has been a leader throughout the country for the past 12 years. Mr. Michael Bloomberg is here.
Leadership in action. Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws, to improve education, and to develop innovative ways to help teens gain the skills needed to find good jobs.
At a time when Washington is divided in old ideological battles, he shows us what can be achieved when we bring people together to seek pragmatic solutions.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
I'm Scott the Window Guy with AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core. Sorry, everyone. I get a notification every time I get a positive review online.
Makeup.
Thanks, Dawn. We think our windows are pretty great, too.
Take two.
I'm Scott the Window Guy with AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core, composite frame, triple pane windows are worth a positive review at scottthewindowguy.com.
Cut! Somebody give me his phone.
Again? Seriously?
The bladder control aisle. You won't shop here again. Your private business is your own. The constant struggle is over. Now there's a better way. It's HDIS. We home deliver bladder control products. We understand how you feel. For over 25 years, we've home delivered to many of the 20 million Americans who deal with incontinence. We offer all brands. We pay shipping and use plain, unmarked boxes. If we can help you or someone you care for, call for your free product sample pack and $45 in money-saving coupons. Our counselors will help you choose the right product. And unlike stores, we're always in stock. You'll get what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed. HDIS, the better way.
For your free sample pack with your free catalog, $45 in money-saving coupons, and free product samples, call 1-800-548-4176. That's 1-800-548-4176.
He's thinking new mattress, you're thinking whole new bed. It's okay. Everything's on sale at the President's Mattress Sale at Slumberland Furniture. This Sealy Posturepedic mattress for only $394. That's over $800 off. Our biggest sale of the year at Slumberland Furniture.
Cold couple of days coming.
Yeah, skies are clear, and with that fresh snow cover, those temperatures will drop off pretty rapidly tonight. We should be down into the upper teens by 10 p.m. Look for an overnight low temperature in the single digits with wind chills down to about 10 below zero. Highs tomorrow only in the upper teens, and an alert day for Thursday as well with a low of 4 below and a high of only 18. A warm up for the weekend, and then we'll watch a storm in the middle of next week, followed by more cold weather.
All right, CBS Evening News is next, and we're back in 30 minutes.